against common sense, many people from social sciences started to worry about how society is currently dealing with environmental risks. And this is one example. This German philosopher Ulrich Beck. Substances are disseminated in the population in all imaginable ways. So what? What is the mistaken conclusion he asked us? Just this, that nothing happens. Society is becoming a laboratory, but the experiment of people does not take place in the sense that reactions to people are not systematically surveyed and recorded. Reactions in people are not even noted unless someone can prove that it is actually this toxin which is harming him. The experiment on people does take place, but invisibly, without scientific checking, without surveys, without statistics, without correlation analysis, under the condition that the victims are not informed and with an inverted burden of proof for them, if they should happen to detect something. Scientists, he is very harsh in his work, insist on the quality of their work and keep their theoretical and methodological standards high in order to assure their careers and material success. From that very fact, a peculiar non-logic results in their dealings with risks. The insistence that connections are not established may be good for a scientist and praiseworthy in general. When dealing with risks, the contrary is the case for victims. They multiply the risks. If the recognition of a risk is denied on the basis of an unclear state of information, this means that the necessary counteractions are neglected and the danger grows. By turning up the standard of scientific accuracy, the circle of recognized risks justifying action is minimized, and consequently, scientific license is implicitly granted for the multiplication of risks. And then comes the precautionary principle. It has been eloquently stated by various of our colleagues. And then what happened with Mr. W? Well, after studying a lot of literature on DDT, I found very controversy on the cryptorchidism claim. Some studies showing that it's associated with cryptorchidism, some showing that it's not, or at least it's not possible to prove it. Also, I had very strong difficulty in finding association of DDT with human lipoma. This is one of the few articles which I found something. This other one, I also found very anecdotal reports on that. And then there was this study of 2002 showing that DDT indeed is adipogenic. However, Mr. W has lost his first appeal and now is waiting for a decision from the Brazilian Supreme Court. The obituary of DDT in the environment was the reason used by 2 of 3 designated judges for their decision. And Brazilian government officials denied any responsibility for the alleged wrongful deaths of the Amazon DDT sprayers. So, here we come to the conclusion. Is there an alternative way for identifying human neurotoxicity? Is there any other way for establishing causal nexus? Well, probably not. So, what can we do? First of all, being open-minded and publishing more observational studies on a greater number of chemicals. Probably this is a good start. Well, that's all for today. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Coleman. We have time for one question.
Thank you for your talk.
Okay.
Thank you for your talk. It's so comforting and disturbing to know that science, that you guys that want to help me, you are 20 years plus old, and my community, neurotoxicology, is just a couple of years old, going through the exact same type of thing. This is a theme that's often presented in the nanotox community, and I agree with what, I understand, I comprehend what you're saying, but I also don't want to leave the audience with the presentation that I gave saying that most of the nanoparticles that I work with cause toxicity, and actually 90% of the materials that I work with, and a lot of people work with, do not cause any effects, yet there's such a societal concern propagated by I don't know who, that nano will affect us negatively, and that there's more implication than application. And this is an example of a technology that really I firmly believe, as idealistic as a young person can be, that this is where we're going to find a cure for a lot of different types of ailments that plague humanity. So that's all I'm going to say, is that a lot of materials we work with, over 90% of them, do not actually cause any kind of toxic effect in cells or in animals. It is the 10% that do that I'm able to get funded with, but still.
We must all recognize that there is a very wrong perception of risk by many members of the society without proper, how can I say, theoretical basis. But on the other hand, we must also admit that subtle effects on more exposed or more susceptible populations are still not known. Thank you.
Our next speaker is Dr. Brian Rollman from Health and Science University, to speak to us about neurobehavioral performance and biomarkers with gamma-positive exposures.
Thank you.